So I suppose we do have to talk about everything going on in the Ukraine. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot has changed since last week.
Why? What happened?
Oh, I don't know if you know, Mike. There's a war going on.
No man is safe?
Yeah. I guess not. I mean, there's been some pretty sweet videos on the internet of like dudes TikToking, paratrooping into Ukraine. And then we mentioned before, Vitaly Klitschko is, first of all, it's just everybody in Ukraine holding AK-47. Were they just handing them out like umbrellas at a hotel?
Yes.
Like, where the fuck did the AK-47s all come from?
Literally, yes.
Yeah. This is what I don't understand. Does the Eastern Bloc, do you ever watch Big O, the anime?
No.
All right, you know how there's all these weird animes where they just find random giant robots like it when they're mining? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that just AK-47s in Eastern Europe and the Middle East? Because it's just like anytime anything happens, I feel like those mountains in Albania, those are just AK-47 mines.
No, so what you're not understanding is, right, like any oppressed people, right, any people that like look like they were built for a tracksuit, there's always like 10 patriotic dudes in that town with mad AKs just looking to recruit 14-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, that's
like
true.
Ireland, right? Like the time of the Troubles, Bloody Sunday, like, you know, go back to, you know, Afghanistan, the Taliban recruiting. That's just how it works.
There's always some pipe fitter or something that hates his job, so he just keeps stockpiling AK-47, hoping it pops off.
Yep.
And then that guy, I assume, is the Secretary of Defense of the Ukraine.
That's essentially what happens, right? Like the government hits these, they got like tabs on these people, obviously, and they're like, all right, like you're on the team,
Dude,
probably.
Here's what's crazy. Zelensky's just in the streets, right? Vladimir Zelensky, just in the streets. He's just like talking shit everywhere he goes, right? And then his vice president is just on Twitter asking people to do things. Like he got Elon Musk to turn on Starlink internet in the Ukraine.
Dope.
We don't have Starlink internet in the United States.
It's fine.
And
more terminals are on the way to the Ukraine right now.
That's what he said. And then he's just like being like, hey, Mark Zuckerberg, can you turn off Facebook? He got a little heat on that one. That was the one that just happened a couple hours ago. He asked Mark Zuckerberg to turn off Facebook in Russia because he feels like it would piss off the Russian people if they don't have Facebook, which, I mean, that is most of their jobs is posting misinformation on Facebook. That would really halt the economy there. But
that would also fuck up Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sure it would fuck up Facebook, but they could do it temporarily. Like all these things are just like they're all just like it's kind of just like here's a gesture.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he also posted. He just put like a bunch of like numbers for like blockchain wallets, and mad people have been donating.
Oh yeah, they've gotten like 30 million. Oh no, is it like $7.3 million in donations in the last 2 days?
I don't know. What I do know. Is that
we're recording on Sunday, by the way, just so everybody knows.
So that
if anything's out date by the time this comes out Tuesday, I apologize.
So I think we covered it when Zelensky got elected, right?
Okay.
Like, wasn't that like the thing? Because he's the comic, right?
Yeah.
He's literally just
he was an actor. He was a comedic actor,
right? Wasn't he a stand-up too?
He was on Dancing with the Stars. That video was circulating.
Okay.
But yeah, he's putting out content. He is a content creator of some sort. I'll tell you that right now. He's out in the streets. He's vlogging right now.
So it's like this guy goes from being like, you know, like the Ukraine's version of like, you know, Danny
Trump.
Whatever. No, not even Trump. No, like this guy is a comedian.
Well, he played the president on a comedy show.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So he's like the guy from That's My Bush.
They loved him so much.
Because that was George W. Bush was actually... What a lot of people don't realize is they filmed That's My Bush before he was president. It was when he was the governor of Texas. They filmed that, and then it never came out, and they became president. They were like, oh, we should just put this out.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's true.
Huh,
That's actually George W. Bush in the show. That's why you don't know that guy's name. Right? It wasn't just some talented actor, Mike.
Okay.
George W. Bush.
Huh.
In That's My Bush.
Wild.
It's a true fact.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. Multi-talented, man. He paints now.
G-dubs?
Yeah. He's like T.I. He can do anything.
You're a prick. All right, so I don't know, man. Like,
Look,
so
no, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I'm going to do a thing. I know you want to talk about a lot of the crazy propaganda coming out.
Yes.
And I have that slotted for the end of this, but I want to talk about a few things. And just like, I want to clarify my opinion on what's going, because there's a lot of like crazy right-wing guys that are rooting for Russia.
What?
Yeah, there's guys who believe that Russia's fighting the NWO and there's a bunch of kid fucking going on in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin put out a message saying that he's denazifying Ukraine, which there are far-right groups in Ukraine, but there's far-right groups everywhere in free societies and even non-free societies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, there's also, we talked about this on High Society very briefly, but like at one point he just was like, yeah, we killed 5 Ukrainian soldiers coming over the border. It's like, oh, 5? That seems like they were just trying to go get some tail. You know what I mean? Like, what would 5 dudes came in here and you killed, and you're gonna invade a whole country? 5 dudes? 5 dudes. That's the A team.
That's less. That's more than the A team.
Oh yeah, the A team's only 4 dudes. Right? I'm just saying. It's 1 more dude than the A team.
I mean, dude, honestly,
Well, the 5th dude's the van.
I think the A team, A team versus Russia.
I mean, it's the same thing. You got, well, first of all, like I said, we're going to get to this propaganda stuff in a little bit. I know you want to talk about the fucking ghost of fucking Kyiv. I know what you want to talk about.
I'm hyped, dude.
But I want to clarify what my position is on this entire thing. Because I kind of was shitting on the U.S. on my show and just a little bit on Robbie's show and then fucking on High Side. We're doing it. But here's the thing. You can believe it's perfectly fine to think that the U.S. should not have invaded. The U.S. should not have been saber rattling, and also that Russia should not have invaded Ukraine. You can hold those two things separately, right? Because bad foreign policy always leads to blowback. You know what I mean? Like it's a very big thing in Afghanistan. Like, right? Like we were perfectly justified in invading Afghanistan in 2001, correct?
Why? No. Why were we?
Because that's where we thought Osama bin Laden was.
Okay.
And then once we realized he wasn't there, we probably shouldn't have still been there. It really made it very easy for jihadists to recruit people. So the reason why we should not have been like threatening war and threatening to put Ukraine in NATO is because it makes it way easier to fucking have a popular war if you're Vladimir Putin. He controls TV in Russia. It's just state TV. It's not like the Russian people are reading CNN and going, oh, fuck, we're the bad guys. They think they're the good guys because their only thing they can read is that they're the good guys.
And Gulag.
And Gulag, yeah. It's pirate radio. Well, they're probably dead now. Because those guys were probably just like, hey, we probably shouldn't be doing this. It's not a good idea to invade a country. But, like, it's just... And it's this weird thing where it's like, okay, we kept putting shit and saying NATO exists to disband the USSR. That's why the Russian government is like kind of scared of it. And it kind of makes sense. All right, Mike, do you know that the United States built an airport in Greenland?
What?
The United States, a few years ago, built an airport in Greenland. And this is kind of my point. The reason why the United States built an airport in Greenland is actually why Donald Trump stupidly said we should buy Greenland. Do you remember when Donald Trump said that?
No.
Donald Trump, it was a big thing in the news cycle that Donald Trump said we should buy Greenland. And everybody was like, he's an idiot. Here's the thing. There's 2 things about Greenland that make you want to buy it. 1, it's been bought before. 2, it was on the table at some point in the 1800s. But it's like, 2, they have massive amounts of mineral deposits, lithium and such, which you need. They just found that. But also, here was the real thing. They're a Commonwealth of Denmark, I believe. And they needed a new airport. And Denmark wouldn't give them the money for an airport. And they didn't have it. And China was going to build them an airport as part of the Belt and Roads Initiative. And it was going to be a commercial airport, right? But rather than have a Chinese-controlled commercial airport, non-military airport, the United States built them an airport because Denmark wasn't going to do it. That's kind of why that came up. Because that's how scared we were of having a Chinese-controlled, again, commercial airport that close to the United States.
Well, there's nothing.
Literally, NATO is putting missiles near the border of Russia. They're allowed to get a little be like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, everybody sees this as like this weird Amerocentric thing where it's like, they don't know they're the bad guys. They think they're the good guys. That's what you kind of have to think about. And nobody's kind of considering that, right? So it's like, and again, like NATO was created to disband the USSR and to fight them everywhere. So it's like, if you want to be worried about that, like, it's kind of like this. The blowback because of foreign policy in the Middle East caused 9/11 on some level. It didn't completely cause 9/11. It didn't make 9/11 completely our fault, but it was at least a contributing factor. Osama bin Laden cited it when he did the thing. It also helped him recruit jihadists, right? It's kind of like this, right? Remember the movie Billy Madison? Remember how he's getting picked on by gingers constantly?
Yes.
The O'Doyle family. Now, they all died in a car crash, but imagine they did it, and they kept fucking with him, right? And then he won that competition at the end and became a multimillionaire. And then he went on a crusade, and then he kept picking on him. And then he went on a crusade murdering gingers around the country. Just murdering them. Just cutting their fucking whole faces off, you know? And he learned how to fucking chase things because he was chasing that penguin. You know what I'm saying?
This all checks out.
This all checks out. If Billy Madison, for all we know in that universe, that ends right there. He might have actually just started, like, in that Billy Madison universe, I don't know what's going through Adam Sandler's mind. Billy Madison might be a ginger murderer. He might be the Dexter of gingers in that universe at this point. There was never a sequel. We always wanted a sequel to see what else is happening. For all I know, in that canon, that's what happens to Billy Madison after that. Okay? He's just murdering more and more famous gingers across the world. He's got that kid from Licorice Pizza tied up right now, cutting his nipples off. Right? And you'd think to yourself, well, that's not the right way to handle that. But gingers were kind of fucking with Billy Madison for that whole fucking movie. Remember how much you thought they were dicks? You thought they were fucking dicks the whole time.
I mean, they were.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he should go and kill them. You know what I mean? And just certainly you shouldn't kill random gingers. See what I mean? You could hold two opposing ideas in your head that relate to the same issue. I feel like everybody is coming at this issue as you're either on this side where you're like, we're backing Ukraine, no one else did anything wrong, Russia's the only aggressor, or there's some of these idiots who are going, Russia deserves to do this. No, it's kind of both. Like, politics is not black and white. I think we should really outlaw superhero movies because the masses have gotten too into archetypal storytelling and it's fucking everyone's brains up. It's ruining things. Just every time you think about the fact, if you ever think that Russia had no motivation to do this, just think about Billy Madison beating a ginger to death with a sledgehammer. Now that's
done.
Everybody listening to the sound of my voice, every time you think that Russia had zero motivation, I want you to picture, what's that dude that put the sunglasses on real slow on CSI Miami? What's that guy's name?
Oh, fuck.
David Caruso.
Caruso.
All right. Every single time. I also have a friend named Gary Caruso, also a ginger. I hope he doesn't get killed by Billy Madison after this. Look, Billy Madison is the Van Helsing of gingers, is what I'm saying. But every time you think if Russia has no motivation at all, think about Billy Madison just doing the Wu-Tang Clan heating up a fucking hanger on a radiator and then putting in David Caruso's ass slow like tss. Now, he shouldn't have done that, but he didn't have no motivation. That's all I'm saying, Mike. That's all I'm saying. And also, let's just break this down. I'm going to throw this out there. If you're the Russian people, I
mean, 7 billion listeners, some of them have to be on here.
Have to be on there. How pussy you got to feel to lose a Cold War? It's not even a war. It's a Cold War. Right?
Some bitch shit.
Yeah. That's like if, like, Cold War, that's like if losing a Cold War is being forced to eat the American half of a 6-foot hero only. You
gotta chill with that.
You don't want a slice of each? Losing a Cold War is getting to a party late and there's only American half left, and you've been thinking about sandwich the whole drive there and you got stuck in traffic. That's losing a Cold. You know what? This is what losing a Cold War is. Imagine you were in a strip club.
Okay.
Right? And you're balling out. You're trying to get all these hoes coming over to you.
Okay.
Right? But then there's other dudes over there also balling out. And they got hoes going over there. And you're like, but I want those hoes. Right? You're spending money. There's bottles coming out. Sparklers going off. And then you run out of money. And then the bouncer throws you out of the strip club. That's losing a Cold War. Right? Because nothing happened. You didn't get your dick sucked. It's a Cold War. It's a Cold War of love. That's the Cold Trojan War.
The Cold Trojan War?
Yeah, that's what that strip club analogy is. The Cold Trojan War. Probably also the title of this episode. I'm just saying. There's things to consider when we're talking about this thing, and it's bugging me that nobody is. That being said, the nuclear shit is starting to worry me. Did you see that Putin's like, yeah, we're keying up some of these nuclear missiles. That's kind of worrisome.
Well, all right. So the thing that does kind of scare me is that everybody's talking about Putin.
Godzilla?
Sure. Exactly, dude. Yo, I heard they launched some ballistic missiles at
Chernobyl's?
Yeah, and now the radiation's getting disturbed there. We're about to get a fucking...
Dude, Russian Hulk is going to be way scarier than regular Hulk.
Russian Godzilla is going to be fucking scary. Because they're in Asia. You know they got Godzilla. They got kaijus. Yeah, they're in Asia.
Dude. They definitely have kaijus. Fuck. Shit, dude.
You didn't even think of that, did you?
No, like I thought maybe some Godzillas would pop up, but I assume they would be Japanese.
Nah, think
about
it.
They got ice kaijus? Dude, I don't want like a Russian mob kaiju, dude. That's going to be rough.
Dude, imagine he's got
face tat fucking kaiju. I'm not fucking with that, dude.
That stupid little furry hat with the ears on it.
Oh, shit. Yo, I hope they don't have no kaijus in Dagestan, dude. The ground game on something that big is going to be insane, dude.
Yeah, just grab your legs and fucking, handcuff you. The Dagestani handcuff. You're done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yo, imagine Khabib training a kaiju. So... Yeah, I mean, look, what scares me, honestly, though, about this Putin thing is that everybody's talking about him like he's evil like Hitler. You know what I mean? Like, they're comparing...
Well, he's not evil like Hitler. He's certainly not a good guy.
Right, but I'm saying, like, they're saying this invasion, right, bringing this war in the modern age is such, like, a dastardly act, such a villainous act that...
Well, everything is softer now, right?
Right. But my point is if you're putting him in the same criteria as like a Hitler or a Stalin, right? And you're putting that out there, right? Which seems to be like the way it's trending, at least on Twitter or social media. Like that's how people are kind of viewing this guy. Then if he gets caught, right? Like if he loses this and the Americans come through or, apparently Belarus is joining in with the Russians tomorrow.
Lomachenko.
So the whole thing is kind of starting to feel like, there is some world war. But
I mean, no,
up.
because it really is so like it really is still the only thing that we have to worry about. And China has been kind of talking shit against Russia, and I don't see China really siding with them much because of the. Did you see that they cut out like a lot of SWIFT payments are not being able to be processed in Russia, so Russian banks can't make things. A couple of oligarchs broke with a couple of like very rich guys broke with Putin today. So there's starting to be some things that are going on. As long as China doesn't start backing them, like if the first shipment of Chinese guns shows up in Belarus, we're fucked.
What do you mean?
Like until that happens, this is still a regional conflict, right? Like think about like the war in Yemen. There are all sorts of countries involved in these wars. I mean, literally, like I was going to tell you to pull up this in a minute. Just pull up this list of. There's a list. I sent you a list of invasions. That just Wikipedia has a running list of known invasions of countries. And just the ones from 2000, most of them you don't even hear about. There's a lot of like random invasions in the 2000s that are just like the African coalition invading crazy parts of Africa that are, and you just never hear about it. Or you do and you kind of forget.
Yeah, because it's like, that's
But it's still just a regional conflict.
It's Africa's issue.
Yeah, but this is currently a regional conflict. The only real problem becomes, so like, as of now, Russia has not attacked a member of NATO because Ukraine's not a member of NATO, right? If they attack Lithuania with our dude Gabrielis over there, foreign minister of Lithuania, who's welcome on this show whenever he wants. I'm done with the president. Gitanas Nausėda, go fuck yourself. We want your foreign minister. He's welcome on this show. If they attack like Lithuania or Poland, now it's a world that it's like one of those. It's got to be like an inciting incident like that. China has to start backing them and actively sending them weapons, or they have to attack a NATO state. Otherwise, it is a regional conflict.
But, I mean, all of Europe, right, is like the EU is behind the Ukraine, right? They're sending fighter jets and money. So it's like, yes, it's still an inter-European conflict.
No, it's a Baltic state conflict. Like, there's not like... look, NATO. There's a good. The NATO Defense Force is mobilizing. They haven't gotten there or whatever yet. It's still the Ukrainian army, but like until there's like troops from other countries fighting in this conflict, or Russia attacks a NATO state, or China backs Russia with some sort of thing, it is still kind of...
Yeah, but Poland and Lithuania are also talking about joining the NATO state.
Well, there you go. Then you kill. Well, Poland, Lithuania, like I said, they are. But it's like, so yeah, if those soldiers start getting killed, then that becomes an issue. And then now you're worrying. But I just can't. Again, like you said, this isn't Germany in the 40s. Like, it's just not. I don't foresee China starting a world war. Like, I honestly, if I had to bet, and I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet, I would put money on military coup, bullet to the back of Putin's head eventually.
Oh.
That's where my money would rest on this.
So I guess where I'm coming from, right? Like what I was getting to, like with the fear, right, is that if Putin sees that coming, right? If he sees it as a thing where it's like there's no way out, I'm going to be killed, I'm going to be strung up in the streets or have to, you know, face a Nuremberg trial situation, why not push the red button? You have nothing to lose.
Because it would kill a bunch of Russian people. I think he cares about that. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? He might. Look, but there's also kind of a weird reason, like, we don't do the kind of shit we did in this situation because, like, I guess people thought Putin was a more logical guy than, say, Kim Jong-un, right? So whenever Kim Jong-un, he just launched a bunch of new missiles and was like, I can hit the U.S. again. He did that whole shit again. He does it every time there's a new president, and he does it to try to get some sort of, like, foreign aid or get people to come to the table and give him something. He does it every fucking time. But the reason we don't move missiles near him is because we kind of know that he'll just start shooting missiles at fucking Seoul. You know what I mean? So we don't do that for that fucking reason. But we did that in this situation because people thought Putin was less of a fucking psycho. And he's kind of, I don't know if he's got to be like, I am a psycho, or he just is a psycho. I don't fucking know. I'm not that guy. All I'm saying is, I don't know, and nobody knows. I don't think Joe Biden knows. I don't think all the guys who have met him over the last 20 years know what the fuck that dude's doing. That's the thing about fucking really cold, scary Russian guys. You ever meet like an actual scary, like I know a lot of fun, nice Russian guys. You ever meet like a scary Russian guy? That guy could just snap. I knew one. He's in jail for killing 6 people. Legitimately in jail for killing 6 people. And he was the guy I was like, that's a scary Russian motherfucker. He could snap any time. And he did. And he killed 6 fucking people.
So when you had me pull up that invasion list.
Pull it up.
Okay.
Now, how many of these invasions had we heard of?
Well, this one, I'm wild to find out. This is a sequel.
You did not. See, that's why you didn't quite understand what was going on. You didn't see the first one.
No, what happened?
2014, they annexed Crimea. Same kind of shit. That was that. Okay. That's that one.
So they've already taken part of the Ukraine.
I'm going to throw this out there, though. Yes. I'm going to throw this out there, though.
I got a pretty good feeling they might get a little bit more.
Invasion of Georgia? That was a couple years before? I don't remember that.
But that was under Obama.
So was the Ukraine. So was the Crimea thing.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, so in 2016...
Let's go through these. Okay. So let's go. I don't even know what Socotra is.
That's Yemen.
That's just Yemen?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the UAE invaded Yemen.
Well, no, they're the defending forces is Yemen.
Yeah, so that's what I said. UAE invaded Yemen.
Yeah, but that's not always the case here.
What?
So in some of these situations, first of all, by the way, I went through this all the way back to World War II. Israel leading the amount of invasions, but always the same 2 places. Like the amount of time, I mean, and obviously Lebanon, like World War II.
Okay.
So like,
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure
Iraq is pretty high. Russia's pretty high.
Russia is winning.
But it's just like Israel invades the West Bank and the Gaza Strip every couple of years. Yeah, but I don't remember this invasion of Somalia in 2006. Like I remember when Clinton was the president, we went into Somalia, but I don't remember that. I certainly don't remember this 2017 invasion of the Gambia. I don't know. I don't remember that at all. Apparently it was, I looked into it and it was to contest a fucking sham election. So the tougher fucking countries in Africa just went into Gambia and was like, fuck you, dog. Go into the 90s. There's a couple of weird ones. Here.
Chechnya?
Chechnya, that's Russia right there. Yeah, in the more recent history, yeah, like Russia's doing pretty well. But then look, you got that invasion of Iraq. I don't remember. We invaded Panama in '89. I get it. I was only 6, but Jesus, I didn't know that.
It was like, dude, that thing, that the whole war, or whatever, the operation itself. Oh wait, Panama. I was thinking of Haiti.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of Grenada. You're thinking of Grenada.
Yeah, Grenada was a couple hours.
We also invaded Haiti, fucking in the fucking early 1900s.
Did we?
Yes.
Huh.
I'm looking through these and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about invasions. But I'm just saying, like, go back up to the top there. Fucking the amount of invasions since 2000 that really we didn't talk about that much. I get it that this one's a little more. It kind of seems like it's because it's white people. Like, can we just?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They were
right.
talking...
This is like an invasion on white people.
Did you hear the?
I'm not normally that guy who's like, it's because they're white, but it kind of feels that way.
Did you hear CNN this week?
I did see that clip. Can you find it? Actually, let's play it on the show.
Let's see if I can find it. Give me one second.
The civilized society thing. Yeah, dude, I don't know. And then we'll do this, and then we'll go into all the fucking weird propaganda that you're into with the ghost of fucking Kyiv and fucking people calling one guy the mermaid of Kyiv, and there's like fake things about him blowing up 17 submarines.
Yeah. Okay, now it was CBS News. Charlie DeGata. Let me find that quote.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can find the quote at the very least. But yeah, that was and I think that's kind of like a big part of it. But I think also a big part of it is we spent the last 4 years really pushing the narrative that Russia fucked with our elections. And I'll throw this out there. I put it up on Twitter, but you should check out the Frontline did a documentary called Putin's Revenge about the 2016 election. Because he kind of blamed Hillary Clinton for coming at him and trying to rig one of his elections. Now, it wasn't the same thing. It was like a lot of leaflet dropping and bullshit like that, which the U.S. State Department denied. But Putin blamed Hillary Clinton for trying to come at his job, so he just tried to make sure she wasn't president. It was kind of the argument they make in that documentary. But it's a good watch. If you're kind of curious about like the early life of Vladimir Putin, there's a lot of stuff in there about it. It's called Putin's Revenge. He was Frontline.
He was KGB early, right?
Yeah. But he was stationed near the Berlin Wall when it came down. There's like a bunch of interesting stuff. It's a good documentary. I definitely recommend it if you're just kind of curious about that guy. Just check it out.
Is this the clip?
I think it might be.
All right, let's see.
Now with the Russians marching in, it's changed the calculus entirely. Tens of thousands of people have tried to flee the city. There will be many more. People are hiding out in bomb shelters. But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going.
No, dude, you didn't choose those words carefully. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You sounded like a cop saying that savages and animals live in the projects. I just gonna throw that out there. You may as well have said Iraqis have an extra bone in their foot. Did he get fired?
I don't think so.
How do you not get fired for that? In this day, he's a journalist, for fuck's sake. I gotta be careful when I say relatively European. It is a European country, you fucking idiot. It's not relatively European. That's another thing, is he was also being prejudiced against fucking Slavs. You know what I mean?
Okay, he issued an apology on the broadcast streaming network on Sunday after his comments went viral, racking up more than 1.5 million views. I spoke in a way I regret, and for that I am sorry. Adding that he was trying to convey Ukraine hasn't seen this scale of war in recent years, unlike other countries. Oof. I mean, it seems like he's
2014. They had a war. Like, it's like, come on, bud. We know what you meant. Like, again, it's like some of these weird things where it's like the Eminem song. Oh, it's an upper class city. Now it's a tragedy. That's that guy.
CBS News dropped a dog whistle for straight racism today. Chicago Sun-Times reporter Nader Issa tweeted, if that's the version where he chooses words carefully, was the alternative just going to be, these are civilized white people and not uncivilized brown people?
Yeah, yeah. What was his cleverly unchosen words?
Saying, boop.
Look, I don't know if you've ever been to a Pakistani restaurant when the fucking cabs let out, when they all get off their shifts, but it's like a fucking wet market in there. They're eating fucking bat covered in butter sauce. I don't know what the fuck's going on in there. It's crazy. I feel like I got the first COVID when I went in. I wanted 2 samosas. I got a fucking first COVID over in Ukraine. You know what they do in there? They have a chicken Kyiv, and it's a chicken drumstick, and it's filled with butter. It's very civilized. You know, it's a fat white place. I feel like that is actually a food that I feel like Americans should get more on, is chicken Kyiv. Do you know about this food, Mike?
I've heard of it.
Oh, dude, it's a chicken cutlet wrapped around a chicken leg.
You told me about this on this show.
Oh, all right. I just
you
want to.
Said you were going to make it.
I will make it. I forgot I said that. I forgot that we even talked about it. But I'll make it at some point. Just remind me near your birthday, and I'll make chicken Kyiv. But I'm just saying that is. I'll be honest. That's another way to get if you're worried about like the red states not really wanting to support Ukraine. Introduce them, get some chicken Kyiv at Applebee's, baby. Like, it's just the chicken Kyiv. You didn't hear about that, dude? If Chick-fil-A starts making chicken Kyiv tomorrow, it's gonna be a whole different story.
Yeah,
you're gonna win the hearts and minds. You're gonna clog the hearts and minds. All right. Do you want to talk about any of this propaganda stuff, or do you want to move on?
I mean, yo.
What's the thing you want to talk about the most?
I want to talk about the Klitschko brothers.
Well, where's Vladimir Klitschko?
He's there.
Is he there too? I only saw pictures of Vitaly Klitschko.
Vladimir fucking enlisted.
There's like hot chicks jumping in the fucking fray.
Bro,
it's crazy out there. Did you see that video of the women crying as the dudes in the balaclavas kiss their foreheads?
No.
Oh my God, it made me sad. Like in Kyiv. It's crazy, dude.
Wait, what happened? Like they're going off.
It's just like they're leaving, but it's like, it's because it's hot chicks. But like, their girlfriends are all dolled up and sad and crying and shit. And it's like a couple of guys saying goodbye to them, but like in full fatigues and shit. It's pretty fucking nuts.
That's pretty dope. I saw a couple get married, and then they spent like the first like couple hours they were married, like just running around Kyiv looking for guns and like, just building resistance. And
it sounds like a video game, dude.
Dude, like legit.
Dude, Americans are so disconnected from fucking war. It's like, dude, I'm just like, whoa, it's like Grand Theft Auto, dude.
Yeah, you gotta go get those guns, stock them up. It reminds me of like, what was that shit? Enemy at the Gates?
Yes.
That fucking badass.
There's a sniper movie, right?
Russian sniper movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool movie.
When he goes back to the bunker at night and just like bangs Rachel Weisz like while they're sleeping.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie, dude. That movie was fun.
That movie rules. When they had to like draw straws who had to jump third when they're going from place to place.
I started thinking about all of the fucking crazy fucking movies, like the crazy Russian, like Eastern Promises and like all the fucking dope. I'm like, damn, are we still going to be able to watch these? They're fucking throwing bricks through Russian restaurants in places.
Are they?
Not in New York. You get fucking killed for that. But in other, I've seen a lot of like weird, like people hating on like Russian people shit, like just like tweets and shit. It's probably not actually a lot of people. I think most people are doing it's not the Russian people, it's the Russian government thing that everybody always forgives the U.S. for.
Yeah.
But then again, more civilized place kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, again, and I'm the last guy to start throwing that shit around, but
that was tough to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if they were all in the same room, those guys would have been giving them the old, roll the chair over.
Chill. That's like the
chill. Fuck, dude.
How's he been? That guy's been a foreign correspondent for decades, right?
Yeah. He calls them exotic places, though.
I mean, it's just wild to me that like this guy hasn't figured out how to like.
I remember in the Somali invasion. I remember in the Gambian invasion in 2018. I had to go to darkest Africa. What? Yeah, remember the Porky Pig cartoon? They still call it darkest Africa.
Into the heart of the.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's rough. All right, the Ghost of Kyiv.
You're into this.
I mean,
you don't know about it?
I don't know if it's real.
It's definitely not real.
Why?
A fighter pilot ace? It's not World War I, dummy.
Why?
You can't just have those planes don't maneuver that way. They just launch missiles.
What are you talking about?
Like fighter jets, they just go really fast straight and they can like do maneuvers, but it's not like the Blue Angels. Like you're not barrel rolling and think about the way those planes are shaped and how big they are.
Okay.
Compared to the planes that used to do that in World War I. Because you're thinking of the Red Baron, right? That's what you're actually thinking of?
I'm thinking of like I'm thinking of Maverick, dude.
That was a movie.
So was Enemy at the Gates.
Don't you shoot that green shit at me. What do you think is happening?
I'm just saying, dude, they can do the moves in the air and shit.
I don't think so. Not at that speed. You can't just fucking turn on a dime.
Yeah, but it's a Ukrainian jet, so it's probably not going as fast.
It's the same jets. They're like MiGs.
All right. I mean, watch your language.
I know. St. Patrick's Day's coming up.
Yeah, it's probably not true. There's also been like a crazy amount of like misinformation coming out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like they're talking about like these soldiers were blown up and they list like the general that was blown up with them and like all this other shit. And then Kardov, like the leader of Chechnya, pipes up and he's like, no, those men are more alive than all of the living and certainly more alive than the liars who tell that from their sofa that those men are dead. And it's like, I don't know, like it seems...
There's a lot of crazy... I remember I went to bed the night that it actually popped off and I was texting with Stanley and he was sending me all these random reports that like Kyiv had, like that the whole country had fallen, just like tweets and shit. And I was like, I don't think this is real. Because I was watching CNN and I'm like, I'm looking at footage of there and it's just like people driving regular speed. Like in the town square, you know, like that, you know, where like the whole thing is with that big gold fucking dome.
Yeah, I've been watching that live feed.
Yeah, but it was just like people driving around regular. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I think you're looking at the wrong stuff right now. But, and then in the morning, I woke up to all of the fucking, and Ukrainian dudes are just gutting Russian soldiers in the street, and there's just, people are just frying up their intestines and eating them. Like, what the fuck is that?
Like, all right, so that's the flip side of like,
and that's also a good job on Twitter. Like, whoever's like controlling Ukraine Twitter is fucking crushing it, dude. And I don't know if it's because people want that story.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's an underdog story.
So, and it's also, but it's also...
It's Rocky 3, but they're both Russian.
They just need to sell the fucking pillows, right? That's all it is. They need to keep your eyes on the TV so you'll keep buying the fucking MyPillow, right?
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
That's all this shit is.
I mean, this is what I was saying in the fucking build-up to this, is that fucking Western media was overhyping it. There was literally, The Hill put out an article, the Russian foreign minister before the invasion happened was like, literally like, please stop saying we're invading Ukraine tomorrow. It's really making things worse. Because now we feel like we have to invade Ukraine. Because you guys keep saying we're about to invade Ukraine in 7 hours.
Well, it's like, all right, so I've read from some of these like right-wing, like pro whatever, but like anti-war people are like, do not accept America's ammunition. Have a conversation with the Russians. Like, there can be peace here. There can be a truce.
Well, they had some sort of talk today, but there was nothing that came out of it at the border of Belarus. I mean, you could look it up, see if anything came of it.
I don't know.
I know Lomachenko was just like, all right, you got to get me 2 bigger hats. That dude just wants bigger and bigger hats. Dude, he's like an anime boss that fights you with his hat. He's like Mario Odyssey. He's the main boss in Mario Odyssey when you finally beat all of the bosses in the end.
It was the hat all along.
It's all about hats. You gotta play more Mario Odyssey, Mike.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you really loved about the Ukrainian propaganda?
I feel like there was one other. Oh yeah.
I feel like a younger Mike Harrington would have been like, "You see all these real things." You knew you had to come in here and talk to me. So you were like, I love this propaganda.
Yeah. All right. So the other one I really like is that there are dudes, right? There are Russian soldiers who are invading the Ukraine, keeping their Tinder open, and fucking getting...
Oh, it's smashing.
They're getting catfished for intel.
Nice.
Like, that's the thing. Like, so
that's dope.
Like, the defense ministry just...
so like bitches are just like, where are you at?
Yes.
Did you see the thing where like American dudes were changing their location to Ukraine and being like, hey, if you get refugee status, I'll let you stay at the crib. and they're just getting mad matches. That's like their bio. Like, I'm in the U.S. If you get refugee status, I'll let you crash. Like, we'll do a 90-day fiance and just like getting mad matches from the Ukraine.
That fucking rules.
Dude, you don't even have to buy the catalog to get these mail order brides now. It's crazy.
That's pretty dope, dude. You found a real workaround. The mail order bride business is really going to hurt from this one. When you think about these,
that's a real. It's a supply chain issue, you know. It's a supply chain gun issue. All right, I feel like we covered it. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm good, dude. Bring on the bombs.
All right, moving on. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get podcasts, and make sure you follow me at Chris from BKLYN on Twitter. Also, make sure you support our sponsor, and that sponsor is breathefume.com. That's BREATHEFUM.com. What Fume is a vapor inhaler that helps you quit smoking using the power of the world's super plants. And you're going to go to breathefume.com/goon and use the promo code GOON for 10% off.